Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cinequest. I'm Halfton, the director and co-founder of Cinequest, and I deeply care that you're with me here tonight. The experience that you'll feel over these days will be chock full of the spectacular people that you're looking at tonight and others. 700 artists are joining us from 50 different countries. We'll have 90, maybe 100,000 people from every walk of life, every culture, getting together here at Cinequest. Our amazing innovations that we're known about here in the Silicon Valley and that have been the position of Cinequest in the world of film will be on great display this year. Our events will stir your souls, God willing, and talk to me if they don't. Well, we're here to do that. And when you think about the power of film, it surely does give us that way to reach out and understand people around the globe from walks of life far different than ours, people with different ideas, cultures, backgrounds, ages. And I was thinking, just imagine a world without filmed media. Would we really be as compassionate as we are today? Would we understand the world? Would we even talk about things like global society and social consciousness?
We do have a lot in common, you people in your industry, because Cinequest represents themselves as being mavericks, and of course we, back in 1973, were mavericks as well. And we were battling a company called AT&T. They were the biggest company in the world by any measure, and they invented a thing called cellular technology, and they told us that after 110 years of being tethered to our houses, leashed to our desk every time we wanted to communicate, and now we were going to be trapped in our cars. Would you believe that? So we had to convince the world that there was a better way. We knew that people are mobile. They want to move around while they communicate. And so to convince the world, we created this phone. I hope I didn't hear any laughing among that cheering. Yes, this phone is a little large, and it weighed 2.5 pounds. The battery life was 20 minutes. That's not a problem. You couldn't hold it up for 20 minutes. So you would think that having created this beautiful instrument, that the world would open their arms. Well, if you're a maverick, you know that that's not the case. And we were told by the market researchers that there is perhaps a market for 2 million phones in the United States. And so it took us some 20 years before we got into the millions, and 30 years before we got into the billions. But today, as Sean pointed out to us, there are over 5 billion cell phones in the world. So we have one other thing that you, the art intelligentsia, and we engineers have in common, and that is passion. How can you stand by for 20, 30, going on 40 years, holding on to an idea, knowing that you're right, knowing that somehow the world someday is going to adopt your ideas? You have that passion. John Turturro, who created our first session today, has a very appropriate name, Passione. Aren't we all lucky? You bet we are. Thank you very much.
And of course, world-class actor and director, John Turturro.
When I get to direct things, I feel like there's even more of me, like in a film like this, you're almost more exposed. It's all detail, and it's like what the man said before about having the perseverance and the patience and just hanging in there. And my mom used to make dresses and wedding dresses, and it's stitch by stitch, bead by bead, and that's what it is. Right. And that's what it. And then at the end, you have a wedding dress, which sometimes, unfortunately, when I was 12 years old, I would have to model for her. So, because the dummy was too short if the girl was tall. My father came home many times and saw me in a wedding dress. But really, when you see someone, it's really patience, perseverance, hanging in, and also being interested in what you do and not really, you want the result to work, if people, you know, have an experience, you feel like, well, maybe I've done, you know, I've been able to connect and share something that really is about that world more than about me. I'm the conduit to that world. But you know, those are the things I really love.